Book 6, Counterinsurgents. And I just had to have a lesson on this one today. And it is the beginning and the end of warfare. Now, as I say that, you're going to have lots of things flying around in your head. You've gone through 6 books now on the prophetic, and you've had all these things being taught to you, all these principles, all these juicy little things that you want to try out the next time you're in ministry and you have a ministry opportunity. So if I was to ask you, what is the beginning and the end of warfare? What would it be? I'm sure some would say it's deliverance. It's the deliverance ministry, deliverance of. Some would say it's intercession and praying through in the Spirit. Some would say it's you got all your little bits and pieces, all your little hobby horses that you've lined up and you so believe that this is what it is. Well, it's not. It's not at all. First of all, the beginning and the end of warfare and of ministry is not all the principles you've learnt. It's the person you've become. When you go into battle, the last thing on your mind is, how do I cock the rifle? How do I change the magazine? How do I keep my hat on? How do I crawl from this stage to that stage? What it is you're a soldier. And when you run into battle and when the bullets start to fly, instinct should kick in from your training and you should become the very thing you were trained to be. It's not about how good you can do things. It's not about how bad you can do things. It's actually just, can you do it? And this is one of the first things that you need to learn. The difference between an apprentice and one that is skilled in their trade is not that they think back on, how did my teacher tell me? It becomes, like Paul said, their gospel. What you have become should be your gospel. Every little principle, every little bit of training that the Lord and your mentors and your teachers have taught you should now gel into one being and should be a natural instinct that flows out of you. And it is so important because you cannot minister effectively while trying to think about all the principles. You can't minister and be effective if all you're about is thinking about yourself and all the principles you've learned and how you should be applying them. Now's not the time to do so. You are in a situation where you need to be a blessing to the body of Christ. You have been called to minister to this person and you need to be effective. And the only way that's going to be effective is not thinking about everything you've learned and focusing outwards. And that is why I want to come to the key principle of warfare and of ministry. The beginning and the end of all ministry, of all warfare, of all anything is love. Yes, people, love. You see, why did you get on this road? Why did you come to salvation? Was it not love? Was it not that you were a dirty, rotten sinner and didn't have any right to life? But yet the King of Kings, the Lord of all lords, the one that had all the blessings under the sun, that had every good thing at their disposal, came to you and said, I want to make you a part of my family. Even though you do not deserve this, I love you so much that I want to bring you into my family. I want to bring you into my heart and make you a part of it. Is it not when you were at your lowest that God said, I can use you? I love you and I know I can use you to do great things for me. I know for myself, I saw people suffering and I didn't know much. I was only a couple of weeks old in being a Christian. And I said to the Lord, well, Lord, I see all these people and I see them hurting. I see them battling. I tell you what, if you want me to be the next Billy Graham, if you want me, because that's all I knew. I only knew Billy Graham because that was when they always threw on the Sunday afternoon. Billy Graham. Billy Graham was like the epitome of Christendom for somebody who didn't know about the Lord. So it was like, Lord, if you need me to be the next Billy Graham, I will do so. Why? Because I felt his heart. I felt his love. And I felt that void that was there, that people were hurting, and there was no one there to fill the gap. That's why you got on this road. That's why you went through all the stuff you've gone through. You mean to tell me that you've gone through all the death to the flesh and you've done all that stuff just so that you can stand up and be a hotshot in front of the church? No. You did it because you saw a hurting body and you cried out with the heart of the Lord and said, Lord, use me. Lord, nobody else is answering the call. Use me. And you went through hell. And you have come to the place where you have gone through deception. You have gone through hurt. You have gone through the chiseling. You have gone through the knocking down a few notches. You've gone through the hiding in the wilderness. You've gone through being put up there and made a fool of because you loved. And this, at the end of the day, is what's going to make the difference. Those that have forgotten their first love have now started to use this gift to puff themselves up. And it's bringing no good to the body of Christ. It's not bringing any good because they've forgotten the very thing that they were put there for, to love God's people. If you love God's people, God will give you what you need to love them. Let that sink in. You are the vessel, and they are sick. He will put the medicine in you as the vessel to pour out to them to heal them. And then that takes the pressure off. Because you know that if they have a need, He can supply it, not you. All you need to do is stand and wait for Him to pour. And all you need to do then is give it out. And that is why I'm not going to harbor on this lot. Because as I speak, I know the Lord is speaking to you. I know He's touching your heart. He is reaching in and reminding you of the very reason why you got on this road in the first place. Why you've gone through the ups and the downs and faced the heat and the cold. The heartache, the pain, the joys, the joy and everything else. You've gone through this so that you could love God's people as He loves them. And as you do that, you will become a mighty vessel for Him, standing in humility and knowing that if He doesn't step up, you've got nothing to show. Prophet of God, love is the key, and love will always be the key to you being a successful vessel for the Lord.